All right, sitting in this lovely field house / weight room. Now, this ain't the field house. This is just straight up weight room.
Yeah.
The field house is across from us. But, Coach, man, special times here at Pleasant Valley. I mean, you guys win your first playoff game. You win it by double digits. You guys are moving on to the second round here. You're taking on a perennial power as of the last few years in TA. It's just a lot of things going on right here. Before I dig into last week's game and this upcoming game, have the guys understood what they're doing yet and how special what they're doing at this present time is?
There's no doubt. I feel like the team's enjoying it, and that's the whole deal. You got to have balance with everything, and I think there's a lot with this team on, you hear that saying, hey, act like you've been there before. Mm-hmm. You need to act like you've been there before. Okay, well, this team, they maybe haven't been to where they're at right here, but they have been as close to getting there as possible. And also, like, they've got a lot of wins under their belt.
Yeah.
I mean, this group's got a lot of wins under their belt, and there's a lot of things that they've accomplished. So, they were really excited, after the game was over. It was a great picture by the scoreboard, everybody involved, coaches grabbing their kids, and,
awesome.
And just a family environment right there. Everybody getting to enjoy that special time. And, and sometimes you have, you take Coach Turner that played here. He was a player here on a team that almost got it done, and and just now as a coach, you get to turn that leaf over, and you're part of a staff that that everybody joined in together and was able to get the mission accomplished. And just at times like that, you just sit back as a coach, and whether you're a head coach, assistant, coordinator, position, whatever part of the puzzle you are. You just sit back and you're grateful that you are a piece of the puzzle.
That's right.
You are a piece of the puzzle, and man, so happy for the players. I mean, that's who we're all here for. And so anytime players put in that kind of work, but just because you work hard doesn't mean you're guaranteed you're going to win.
That's right.
And so you still have to go out and you have to meet halfway and you have to go get it. And this team, they met more than halfway and they got the task done.
It's incredible. It's so weird how fast things are moving too.
Yeah.
It's a couple of weeks ago. You said it best. It's 1 week at a time. Well, the next thing you win this one, you win that one, you win that one. And I personally think the best thing in the world that happened to you was Pisgah, because you guys come right back and went right back to work, and you're a much better team because of it.
Oh, there's no doubt.
And now it's just this whole thing's kind of flipped and done a 180. So now people all across the state are like, whoa, wait, who are these cats? What's going on here? I've had people in the South I was doing the Powerhouse show live, and they were like, I try to tell them about y'all before it all come to fruition. I said, hey, these cats are good. They're in a bracket here. They can make a run.
Yeah.
Here in a couple of weeks, y'all gonna be like, hey man, you told us about these guys. Yeah. But all this is happening so fast. Do you feel the same way, or is it just I don't know if it's block a little bit fast, of that out? Because it hadn't happened fast to you. But
yes.
Statewide, these people are starting to notice and stuff. It's
I'm
awesome.
glad to see our I think go back to what you said about Pisgah.
Yes.
I really think on that Monday when we came in, what really let our staff know, and I mean, we knew that we had a special group, but you really never know until all of a sudden things don't go your way.
Right.
Things did not go our way, Pisgah, on some things, but a lot of things did go our way, and so we looked at the things that did go our way, and then how they responded to want to correct the things that didn't go their way.
Right.
That really changed the whole direction of our team. Hey, we're not making excuses about it. Here's what we need. Here's what we're going to get. And then the coaches had a great plan together to say, all right, stating the problem is easy. Yep. We say that all the time. Hey, stating the problem is easy.
That's right.
But what's the point of stating the problem if you ain't got a solution? And so now how are we going to work together to come up with a solution, because anybody can state problems.
That's right.
It don't even matter if you're winning by double digits, you're losing by double digits. Just listen to some of the fans sometimes, and you know, the average fan in the stands.
The armchair quarterback.
Man, they can state all kind of problems. Hey, some of them ain't got a clue about a solution, but they can state problems, you know. And so, I mean, that's where I think that's special about this team is, yes, we saw problems, 100%. Okay, and some of these problems we saw coming before it ever happened. You know, hey, look, this is what we got to get correct, or we're going to get exposed. And then sometimes getting hit in the mouth and getting exposed is a wake-up call.
Yes.
And so, but there's some other things. I'll look back to the Cedar Bluff game too. You know, we came out flat against Cedar Bluff. There's a lot of stuff going on with their program at the time, and so I think they listened to some stuff, and we came out flat. And I think sometimes getting a wake-up call after a win is sometimes just as productive as getting a wake-up call after a loss. And so sometimes those right there, just the urgency. And so that's where I think right now, I will say this, it's the fastest the train's been moving with urgency.
Yeah.
It's the fastest that the train's been moving with urgency. Like, we're not having to stay on players about film time, which we really haven't had to do that any this year, but you could just see the attention to detail and things like that, because we tried to go over all week. This is bonus time, guys. This is bonus time. You know, I mean, what do you do with bonus time? I mean, like, I remember growing up going fishing with my granddad down at the beach, and he had a RV that he had pull, and we get to go deep sea fishing out in the bay and stuff. And man, when he stayed that extra day because the fish were biting, boy, as a kid, you get excited.
Oh yeah, you fired up.
Man, this is bonus time. I get another day to fish.
Fired up.
Well, here you go. It's the same way as a player, man. It's bonus time. How do you take this bonus time and go make the most of it?
That's right.
The team 44 gets to stay together for another week.
That's awesome.
But at the end of the deal, on Friday, somebody's journey's got to be over. Somebody that the team whatever with each school, somebody's got to write the ending chapter, you know, and somebody gets to make another chapter.
Right.
And so that's what it's all about this week. Make the most of your opportunity, be where your feet are, and enjoy your teammates. You remember what got you here.
Let's rewind the clock to last Friday night, talk a little bit about that game. To get that first career, I guess you'd say, playoff win, it's a cultivation of a lot of things had to happen, and you guys freaking laying it on the line.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't get that win Friday night. Y'all got that win over the summer, last January.
That's right.
I mean, talk about that a little bit. What's led to that?
I think, you know, the part that we knew that these guys were going to come in foot to foot. We knew they were big up front, and all week you're preparing for a battle, you know. And like, guys, we got to win those small battles. And so just hats off to both sides for being physical. I mean, because that's what we want to be known as, man. We're right on the edge of just being renegades almost. Right. I mean, like, we want to go through the whistle, not to the whistle. We want to play fast and physical. And sometimes, you know, in these games, like, say, North Sand Mountain, and even, you know, we had a fast start at Pisgah, but then, you know, just didn't respond to some things the correct way. But, you know, how do you get out there and how do you, you know, control what you can control, and what is your style of football? Don't play somebody else's. You're a thermostat or you're a thermometer, and we want to make sure that we're setting the temperature of the room. Right. And so I think the players up front did a great job of that. Right. You know, up front they just, hey, we understand this is smash mouth football. We understand what we signed up for, and let's put our mouthpiece in and let's go.
Let's go to work.
And they did over and over and over. And you know, and that's just fun to coach.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun to coach when kids are excited with each other and playing physical. But, you know, Braxton Salster had another phenomenal night.
Dude's unbelievable.
Like, he's playing out of his mind right now. And you know, it's just amazing to me, sit back and watch some of the things on, you know, we have different options that we can go through on some plays, and whether the secondary's doing this. But then to see that play out there and see a young man like him grow from where he's grown from the 8th grade. I mean, he started as a quarterback in 8th grade.
That's wild.
We were under center. We were wing T, and most of the time it was him getting the ball to one of our athletes back here. But now to see how he's evolved into the ball goes through his hands and he makes those choices, You know, and that didn't happen
Crazy.
overnight. It didn't happen overnight. It happened in this place right here, and his mindset, and the players buying into that, you know. And I think that's, like, our receivers love playing for him because they know, hey, if you try to roll down and start robbing the run, man, he's going to see that, you know. And then all of a sudden, a kid like Cooper Dougal, we turn an 8-yard pass into, you know, a 70-yard touchdown.
Yep.
And so, but any time that players can do that, it is so special. And but you know, up front, anytime you've got a running back running for over 200 yards, somebody's got to be blocking.
That's right.
And that up front with Wesley Wheeler and Josh Buse, who are our two seniors, man, they are anchoring the offensive line. And, you know, and the offensive line each week's getting better and better. I mean, Aiden Jones, Jeffrey Hughes, Zach Lee, I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job. Our two tight ends, Hudson and Brody Barnwell, doing a better job each week of blocking. Caden Vick, I mean, you know, he's another junior. Him and Braxton have potential to be the best combo of quarterback, running back that possibly, I mean, I'd put them up there in top two that I've ever had the opportunity to coach. They're just so special together. You know, and then the defense, I mean, when you're playing a team like Winston County, you know, that's trying to hit you in the mouth, the defense got to bend but don't break. And so the whole staff put a great plan together, and it starts with being physical. And so you had, you know, Isaiah Nevins another night where he's double-digit tackles. Braxton Saucer's leading the team in tackles. And then another kid, Jackson Acker, comes out of nowhere as a free safety and has a phenomenal night. And I mean, like, I'm talking laying the wood to folks from a free safety. And you never want the free safeties to be one of the ones, but man, when they are, it's exciting.
Sometimes they have to. They have to, though.
He said, I'm like a billy goat with an 8-yard charge. And he was. And
awesome.
you know, and some of these guys outweigh him, but man, he is no fear. But him and his brother, Nick, you know, and it's good. We was counting the other day, we've got, I think there's 4 sets of brothers and then 2 or 3 sets of first cousins on the team. And so when you have that much on the team,
that's different.
Man, it's a different mindset.
That's right.
I mean, how cool is it that 2 brothers are playing beside each other?
That's wild.
And doing good.
That's wild.
And you know, one brother, Jackson, he didn't play last year and came back this year when Nick did play. And so for them two to be beside each other, you know, you just sit there and look at it and you say, man, that's special for the parents. That's special for everybody involved.
And every one of their grandkids will know those stories.
That's it. And they get to tell these stories.
That's right.
You know, that's what I told the guys. I said, you know, the great thing about this, you get to go tell this story one day. You're the team that did this.
That's right.
But, you know, we had a good week of bringing them back down after that, you know, and I used a motto, a slogan that's carried a lot of weight with me, even going back to when we won our first championship at Ragland in softball, and we got to the finals, and they had these shirts made. We didn't come this far just to come this far.
Yep.
We didn't come this far just to come this far. So that's kind of been all week long. We've kind of stole that and use it, you know, here. Smart. And say, hey, that we come this far just to come this far. Is our journey over? Is everybody thinking, hey, you've accomplished this, so now you're done, you're ready to move on? Or did you come this far to get more?
Right.
You know, how does it taste now that you're doing that? And which taste do you want to have after that game on Friday?
That's right.
And it really brought the team back down a little bit and really focusing on details. So super excited about this week, though.
Yeah, the beautiful part, like Dave Parker uses that on his website. The computer generates the point spreads and things, and it's got y'all favor 9. No kids hearing this or nothing, but which I thought, you know, a lot of people around the state's like, what? You know, they just know the name TA.
Yeah.
But they don't see the practices and the game film and what y'all are doing in this weight room stuff.
Well, I can tell you who didn't see it.
Who?
Is Aniston Star.
Really?
Oh, yeah, so Aniston Star. So we've kind of used that all week. You know, hey, your hometown paper picked against you.
Really?
You know, that also happened at North Sand Mountain. So hometown paper is picking against
That's
you.
beautiful.
So
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to do everything but give bulletin board material on that show the other day. I was like, in a nice way, I was like, hey, look, I would be shocked if they don't get this done.
Yeah.
I said that because I wasn't trying to give them bulletin board material, but I was like, I would literally be shocked if they don't get this done. I said, the thing about it is, I said, what people don't realize is, like I said earlier, it's happening so fast, but I'm just glad it's just now, it's happening, okay? Because now people, I mean, these dudes that host the shows in Gulf Shores, like in that area, and he's like, whoa, they started asking. Reese, you can see them over there typing up on the show live. And I'm like, they're coming, buddy. And I said, look, they're solid. I said, they don't have a lot. I said, I always look at teams, what kind of weaknesses they have.
Yeah.
Or how do you exploit them? They don't have a lot of weaknesses. Yeah. And I told them that. And I said, they work hard, their weight room. I said, they've changed the mindset. I said, they're going to be a really, 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 really tough out in 2A North. And when I looked at TA, I've seen TA play Coosa, but they're good. I'm not taking anything away from them. Their quarterback, you think you agree, one of the most dynamic players.
He really is
in the state, any classification. Yep. But I also look at the whole team aspect. What have you seen from them on film, per se?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look, quarterback, he knows his outs, he knows where to go, and he's a mobile quarterback. And that's the thing that, he can throw, but you got to understand is he's sitting back there and he can pass at any time. He's got a quick release, doesn't get sacked much.
It's hard to get on the ground.
He reminds me a lot of just at a different level, but we're the Sandrock quarterback. How he's got a quick release. At the time when we played them, he hadn't been sacked many times, and so so our players have really been zoned into that. How do we combat this? What's our coverages? Making sure there's no confusion on the back end. Is it taking 3-man pressure, 4-man pressure, 5-man, 6-man, and then what does he do in each one of those scenarios? What have teams that he's played when they brought 4-man done this versus 5-man? When does he get out of the pocket? When does he stay in the pocket? That's the part I love most about football is just, going to work against somebody and saying, look, just like we expect the players to outwork the other team in the weight room, I expect my coaches and myself, I expect all of us to outwork the other staffs.
Absolutely.
And we dive into that heavy. And, you've got to have a staff that likes that.
That's right.
Because if, not everybody enjoys watching, 20, 30, 40 hours of film.
That's right.
Not everybody enjoys every day we're coming with another, golden nugget.
That's right.
Hey, look, have you seen clip so-and-so? Look how this team exposed them here. Have they fixed that now?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Coach Sullivan said something last year when I was doing his show at Boaz. His son was a senior up there, and he said, he's being sincere. He's talking the playoffs. I was playing center point that week, and he said, hey, look, Bo, this is the way I look at it. I can't look myself in the mirror, and I hope my staff feels the same way. I can't look myself in the mirror knowing I didn't do my part.
Ain't no doubt.
I can't look myself in the mirror as a man and knowing I didn't do my part to get us ready to play that much.
That's it.
And he said, I couldn't do it, and I don't expect my staff to. He said, now, we're going to demand all this from our guys. We as a staff got to do our part. We got to outwork them.
Most of our staff, if I go in there right now and I'll say, I ain't going to even say most, every one of them, they'll finish my sentence when I say this. It's not what the coaches know. And they'll say, we know, it's what the players know.
Yep.
It's not the coaches know. It's what the players know. And then I think if there's one thing that our team would finish, good teams are led by, and them some of us will say players.
It's a true story.
And it really is. So the players have to lead, but the coaches are there for the journey with it. And so we got to do our part to make sure the players can lead.
Before I shut it down, I could stay out here for another 40 minutes talking about this game, but you got a lot more work to do between now and then. What is the overall mindset with you guys heading into this game? The travel, the situation, getting that last one behind you. You got a million things going on. How do you bottle that up, and what do you deliver to the guys?
That's a good question. I think the players got to enjoy the moment. I think we counted the other day. There's 18 to 20 players that's never been to Tuscaloosa. Okay. There's another 20 plus that's never been on a charter bus. And so it's the little things like that, because I can go back to my high school days. I can remember my junior year, and we're undefeated. Sylvania's undefeated, and I think Paul Benefield is his maybe first year as a head coach, and we'd had at the time the top-ranked defense in the state, and so we go to Sylvania, and that's the only time that Coach Hallmark had put us on a charter bus. And so, man, this week with charter bus, it really, I mean, you talking about a 30-year flashback almost. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this team gets ready different. This team handles things different, and so we've talked about that a lot. And we used it as you had sponsors in this community that wanted you guys. They wanted to show their appreciation, and they wanted to put you on a charter bus that's 2.5. Like you've drove to, Pisgah, you drove to North Sand Mountain. We know we can drive on a bus up there, but when they're doing this, I want y'all to look at that as that's a gift to y'all.
That's right.
So there's an investment that people are willing to invest in you. So there's a return that you have to give them, and the return is simple. Go have fun playing the game of football with each other.
That's
Man,
right.
What kind of deal? That's
Play
a
the game you
no-brainer.
love with the guys you love.
That's a no-brainer.
It's easy.
You know,
That's right.
so I think it's all about enjoy the moment.
That's right.
Enjoy the moment, have fun, know your job and know your task, and just remember, we didn't come this far just to come this far.
Coach, I appreciate you
Yep.
sitting in with us. Thank you so much, and I'm going to have this up today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.